All right. Well, what's going on, everybody? I hope you all are having a really good holiday season. Looking forward to this video that we're going to do here today. So what we're going to be talking about and what we're going to go into is leg work and how this is going to help us out in regards to our backswing to set up a pivot so that we have room for the arms to come down on plane. So if you haven't already, please check out the last video that I did here on YouTube. Link is down below. I've also got a free crash course on understanding impact. Would love for you to check that piece out. And let's go ahead and let's get right into it. So one of the things that I really like using YouTube for right here is I like giving you guys scenarios and basically some of the issues that I see on a day-to-day basis inside of teaching golf. And one of the biggest things that I've seen of recent with some of the people that I've coached is how the legs actually work and how this can really affect and change what happens to the pelvis and how this actually sets up our backswing right here. So when we look at where players, I would say, get in trouble, which can cause over-the-top issues, can even cause excessive inside-out issues, what we see out of, or what I've seen of recent and what we're going to use in this video's case right here, is how the lead leg femur works and why this can actually cause some issues with how we rotate in the backswing. So if we look at how pressure right here works, what I've seen of recent is if we take the pivot points that we have in the pelvis, we have our lead side pivot points. So the femur that connects to the hip, this in essence right here could be a pivot point. And then we have the trail side. So we have the femur that connects to this hip. This right here could be a pivot point. And then we have the center of our spine that connects to our hips, which creates our rotation in this manner. And so like when I was taught when I was younger, I was always taught to get all of my pressure moving into my trail side. And so what I've seen that happens, and this creates a balance loss for a lot of players right here, is imagine this is a wrench. So if I put this club head here on my right hip, and I called this the wrench arm, what I see is people take their lead side mass, their hip, their leg, the lead side of their body, and they rotate all of this direction. And so what ends up happening here is we get a very level turn with the shoulders. It causes our center axis, what I would call, I like seeing everything rotate around the head from a centered standpoint. And it gets all of this shifting behind the golf ball here. So when this gets behind the golf ball here like this, a lot of times players can get flat with the golf club. It gets too much mass this way. And then the next thing they have to do is they have to go refine this pressure. And so we have a very large shift in mass, and generally we have it all moving at the same direction at once. It'd be like me saying, I want you to throw a baseball, and all of this is going at the same time. We're not going to be able to create as much speed. It's not going to be as efficient, and that's because we're not working inside of balance right here. So what I would like to see, and typically what causes this, is we'll see the right hip is staying quiet, our trail side is staying quiet, and we're working this lead knee in, turning from here, and that's getting the pelvis to shift the spine this direction. And then we get this look here up at the top. Where people are here like this. A lot of times the arms will start to collapse. And then from here, either A, we drive pressure forward and this gets stuck coming way too far from the inside, or B, we'll take the lead shoulder and start to pull this way, and the golf club will start to steepen. It's not me saying that there isn't a way to sync it up from there. I just think it's more difficult. And so when we look at one of the ways that we could fix this is we need to change how the lead side, the femur, the knee, and the hip function so that we can actually start to turn more from our trail side, working this back closer to where the center of our body would be. So what I like to use is an as a tool right here is if I took a stick and I put this in the ground right here. Okay, so this is going to relate to where my lead leg is. So I'm going to give myself 2 fingers in between this stick and where that would touch my thigh. That's how much in I could move, because that would bring my femur perpendicular to the ground. I do not want it moving past that right there. Okay, so from here, what I would have you do first is take the golf club, hold it with your lead hand right here in the center of you, and I'm going to have you take your trail hand, work it past your right leg. And from here, our next move is I want you to feel like we're straightening out the trail leg as we're minutely bending the lead leg without putting a lot of pressure into this. So I don't want you putting a ton of pressure into this initially. So I'd be right here, straighten the right leg, little bit of flex in the left, staying away from this. And then from here, I'm going to move my right arm back behind me and start to extend this right here. So my right side that's extending is starting to move pressure around the corner, which is going to be making it easier for me to repressure the left side and get this in front earlier so we can use it as a break right here. So the first place I would start is learn how to do this functionally, staying on center. So we're going to work the right arm past the leg, the trail arm past the leg. We're going to straighten the right leg. We're going to straighten the right leg, not shifting into it. So we're not touching the stick here on the ground. Here, work this back. And now from here, it's going to be very easy to get pressure into this lead side. And now I've got space. I'm on center. And I'm in a position just to finish right here. So that would be the first place that I would start. And what's neat about this drill here is we can actually hit golf balls with it. Okay, so now that we've got this set up, so I've got this stick in the ground right here. This is going to be sticking out a fist off of where my lead thigh would be, just above my knee. 2 fingers inside of where the internal part of my leg would sit, and that's going to be my space that I can move this leg to right here. So again, from here was our feel. Right arm past, trail arm past our leg. Straighten the right leg back so that we can extend the right side back and up. And you can see now I've got the pelvis, the rib cage, the chest, and the shoulders on a better inclination so that I can start to move back into this, keeping the head on center and also getting pressure forward. What I love about this drill is I can hit golf balls inside of it. So when you're here, tee it up so that you stay in the same spot. Once you put this in here, I would go here. So take away, so arms past my leg, straighten the right leg, extend up without touching this, and work it back down. And here's a little added bonus. Now, when we get here into impact, you can see how I'm keeping my trail knee and my trail leg inside of where this stick is right here. That's going to keep me in a better posture here with my spine. What we don't want to see is this going forward, which would start to stand the spine up from there. And so this could be another way that you could add on to what this drill would be right here. So I'm 2 fingers, a fist away. I'm going to go right in here, take away, extend the leg, bring it back to impact, and then I would go. So I'm going to do my best to not touch this stick here with my lead leg. That would be more of what my look would be right there, guys. That was a little thin. I'm going to try that one more time there, but I could tell I did what I wanted to with my lead side without working this too far in and back. And that's what I like about drills like this, is whenever you're making change, be in a position to create feedback, video yourself, and set up stations that you know you're doing something right versus hoping that you're doing something right. So I'm going to be in here, arms to the leg, straighten my trail leg, extend my right, and work this back down. And then it would go. And what's really neat about this is you should really feel like you all of a sudden you have a lot of space for the arms to move. When we're here, we don't have any space. This is why we want to open up the trail side more versus turning our lead side into it, which closes that space right there. So this is a really cool drill. I hope you got a lot out of this video. If you have any questions on this for me, please leave those in the comments down below. I appreciate your support. Thanks for watching. Look forward to seeing you next time.